Hey, all right. Well, I guess I'm determined to go with the Trillionaire. That's my YouTube channel. This is my first walkthrough. So excited. Obviously, I'm going to be playing the Stanley Parable, and I can't wait. And as a matter of fact, I was considering, I was like going to do some sort of lead-in or something. I don't know. Seems like you're supposed to say stuff, we do stuff like this, but it seems like the time is now to jump on in here
This
because
is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-whipping, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
he's a nimble little fella.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I played the demo of this game, and I loved it.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
This is admirable.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
So I will pause here for a moment, just to say that I played the demo, and it was great. And I recorded it, and I couldn't wait to put it up. And they were deleted. I lost them. Don't know what to say about that. I was pretty unhappy about it, but it only took me about half an hour, and I think everyone should play the demo. because it's a really cool lead into this game. What else was I going to say? One of my concerns, which you probably would have already guessed at this, was I could see playing the demo was that suddenly the, I guess you could call him like a guide. He speaks a lot. It's pretty much the main feature of the game. You know, obviously besides the environment itself. And I also wanted to talk. I like to talk. It's something I want to do on my videos. But I don't want to talk over him, clearly. And so I'm just going to do my best. And I'll be quiet and, yeah, I don't know, just kind of try to be unintrusive and yet somehow enhance. I'd like to enhance your experience. Since you can't play the game yourself, for some reason, and you'd like to watch it on YouTube with a friend, why not me? And I'm just going to be, you know, try to be, whatever. Try to be, do what I do. We'll find out what that is. Still learning myself.
Staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Smells of rich mahogany. What if I really had to go? Is he a key? Is it like Arco?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
So, this may seem strange. Think to yourself, what is this game? Why are we doing this?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
You play a lot of video games.
2845.
This may seem like a familiar scenario to you. And therein lies, I don't even know where the keypad is though exactly. It's in here. Oh, silly. Oh, the fucking enormous keypad.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story.
Oh, that's funny.
Did-do.
Oh, see? Now I don't feel like I cheated reality, basically. That's how I feel. I'm still confused. Wait, what? I thought I could go somewhere or something. 2845. Oh no. Oh, is it forcing me to put it in? No. Ah, the giant door opened, and I was completely oblivious. I'm not a bright man. I hope it's not a detriment to the Let's Play. Let's see here. Well, I guess I should be saying something. It's loading. I mean, it's not that fun right now.
Descending deeper into
This is good.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I think I'm just gonna go with what the narrator says, kind of, and just see how that goes. Until I change my mind. I think that's pretty good atmosphere.
Rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
The strength. The fortitude.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Right the fuck on, Stanley. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So I just push buttons? You know, I think Stanley's a little smarter than that. He's gonna figure out what's going on here. I think you just push buttons. See, I'm getting clues. Figuring out what's going on. Facility power. Let's burn this mother down.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew... and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.